There are times when a game is so good that it constantly gets ported to current gen consoles. There are also times when games that worked well on one platform become abysmal on another. Then, there are times where a game is ported and its mechanics are tuned and work well with the platform. The World Ends With You Final Remix is all of these at the same time. Let's jump into the review and see how this happened. What is happening? Mattmade here, giving my review of The World Ends With You Final Remix, a game that has a cult following and that I missed the first time around. The World Ends With You was originally released on Nintendo DS way back in 2007. It has since gained a cult following for its unique and cool art style and its hip soundtrack. It was re-released for smartphones in 2012 with updated graphics and mechanics to accommodate for the lack of a second screen. The story of The World Ends With You follows Neku, a hip and edgy protagonist that wakes up in the city of Shibuya, Japan's hottest and most trendy city. However, he cannot interact with anyone and is attacked by these strange monsters called Noise. He then runs away and meets Shiki, a seemingly kind and trendy girl whose belly button is oddly low. I don't know what design choice they made with her, it's really weird. Anyway, they form a pact and become able to defeat the Noise. Once defeated, Neku finds out that he's in the Reaper's game, a dangerous game where you must make it 7 days and complete missions or you will be erased, which the game makes abundantly clear. The plot is light and quickly throws you in. You learn mechanics as you progress through the story, and everything is given to you at a decent pace. This allows you to figure out how to play and how to use your main weapon, strange pins that have different abilities and different activation requirements. The game can be played in 2 different formats. You can play in either docked or handheld mode. Docked mode forces you to use the motion controls, which is at best annoying and at worst infuriating. You use one Joy-Con, and in order to attack, move, or use other abilities, you must point at the screen and attempt to click, draw, or swipe. These controls are terrible. Let nobody tell you otherwise. The only saving grace is that you can always reset the reticle to the center by hitting a button, an action that you'll be performing very often, much to my dismay. While in docked mode, you can also play co-op, which I have no idea why you would want to play, as instead of one infuriated person, you now have 2 and a messy screen of swipes and circles. The most enjoyable thing about docked mode is that you get a very large view of the game and the character sprites. Handheld mode, which is my recommended way to play, is very fun. In this mode, it acts very much like the mobile version in that you no longer need a Joy-Con and can tap, swipe, and circle using the touchscreen. This saves a lot of frustration and time. Instead of fighting the controller to try to click a pin, you can simply use your thumb or finger and avoid unnecessary deaths or not doing the attack at all. Handheld mode also allows you to take it anywhere, because it's a Switch, and really get comfortable while playing. You can be on the couch, be on the bed, be anywhere, and really enjoy this game. Also, instead of having to constantly adjust and recenter and sit up, you can just tap away and not worry about the finicky Joy-Cons. While the Switch isn't as light as a DS or a phone, you can still get fairly comfortable and not have to really be upright and attentive while you're playing the game in order to do anything. The main fighting mechanic in The World Ends With You are the pins. Each is unique and has a different cooldown and number of uses before it needs to recharge. Some of them even have startup charge, so when you start a match or a fight, you can't use the pin immediately. This really makes it so you have to plan which pin you want to use and pay attention to which pin you have equipped. The pins are also given out at a relatively good pace. However, if you feel that you need more or are trying to collect them all, like Pokemon, then you can lower your level and stack enemies to increase your chances. Some are definitely more useful than others, and having a balance of a quick tap attack mixed with the swipes or circles is key to taking down Noise quickly. Aside from the pins, you have your teammate Shiki. When her pin is available, you can tap to have her attack as well. If you alternate your attacks, you'll fill up the sync bar, and once it reaches 100%, you can perform a team attack that hits all enemies and does a decent amount of damage. The team attack takes a bit of getting used to, as it requires you to match cards very quickly, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be laying out enemies quickly. Since The World Ends With You is an action RPG, you'll be leveling and grinding. Not only will Neko himself level up, but the pins you use will have levels as well. Each level of the pin ups their damage and the number of uses before they have to recharge. Once you max the levels out and unequip them, they then go to your mastered pin list. This keeps your inventory really clean and can quickly tell what pins you've mastered and which ones you're still leveling. The Switch handles the port well and without much difficulty. Things run really smooth and crisp. Now I know this is originally a DS game that was then ported to mobile, that was then ported to the Switch. However, not all ports go smoothly, and I'm glad to see that this wasn't just a quick and shoddy port, just to get some quick cash. The graphics and visuals are also spectacular. Seeing the characters in 1080p on the TV feels great, even if the Joy-Cons suck. Each character's style and poses shine and are sharper than ever. Even the NPCs are sharp. However, it is very noticeable when there are duplicates due to the screen being so much larger. You may see 2 or even 3 duplicates of an NPC in one area on the screen at the same time. The backgrounds can be a bit wonky as well. This is particularly apparent in docked mode, since the TV is so much larger. There's an odd warping in some of the areas. However, in handheld mode, you'll hardly notice it, and it's pretty much a non-issue there. This can be really apparent in some areas in docked mode, like super apparent, like man, is this a fishbowl? It feels a bit like, because it's quite clear that they had some more space to work with, and they had to alter things and stretch things a bit so they'd fit on the entire screen and fill out the screen. The soundtrack makes its magnificent return. As this is a port of the mobile port, the remix songs are also included, with even more new ones thrown in to keep things fresh.
Neku, you okay? Again! Neku!
The soundtrack has to be the highlight and the real star of the game. It's hip, fun, and catchy as hell. It's always with you, and each scene change or battle plays a random track. It is definitely a soundtrack that I want to listen to while commuting. The added soundtracks are definitely welcome and appreciated. Overall, The World Ends With You Final Remix is indeed the definitive version of the game. While it didn't get a complete overhaul, it did get the attention and love it deserved. While the docked mode can be downright infuriating and will make you question everything, the handheld mode is great and seems to be how the game was intended to be played. If you missed the original and were curious about the game, then I would suggest this game with a word of warning. Play in handheld mode all the time, no matter what. Because docked, while visually impressive, sucks. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Have you played the original? Do you have the mobile version? What are your thoughts? And don't forget, if you're a fan of gaming, consider striking that subscribe button and hitting the bell. This is Mattmade, and I will see you tomorrow.
Talk about seamless!